Hello and welcome. My name is Shire and I have with me today...
Yay!
Yes,
The day!
a friend of mine
Touhou.
who I have been playing the first Labyrinth game with.
Yes. But something's changed.
Yes, I was preparing footage for my next episode of this series and...
And you got so sick of the graphics that you just decided you needed to mod the whole game and improve it. Very impressive.
Indeed.
Yep.
In all
Well,
seriousness though, what really went on was... I was running into a bug that I couldn't get a solution to, but while I was trying to figure things out, I discovered that there's actually a plus disc for this game, released in 2016.
What's a plus disc? I don't know these terms.
Basically, just a slightly fancy way of saying, you know, Game of the Year edition or DLC expansion pack.
Okay. And this is what this is with the giant 2 in front of us. It's not
Yes.
the second game, it's the second release.
Well, no, it's also the second game.
Oh. So we were
It's-
playing the first... Oh, you're rebooting the second game.
Indeed.
And sucking me into it.
Yes,
Because it's much less dull than the first one.
definitely. It does mean I'll be running through the first... most of the first stage for a third time. But what I will be doing is, as I cover content, I will be unlisting the previous videos.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
as
well-
to not flood YouTube with 10 versions of the same clip.
That's... I mean... That's sort of fair. I don't know, content's content, even if it's repetitive content.
Yep.
I mean, I make the same jokes every day, minute,
It's what we
hour, you know.
do.
Oh, it's great.
So,
Anyone watching the series probably didn't watch the others, so I can definitely repeat jokes.
Excellent.
Excellent.
So I will note quickly that before I hit the record button, Day made an intrigued sound at something in the title screen, so I'll ask you to elaborate now.
I was mostly just sort of noting the improvement in the graphics and that, because I mean, I was looking at previously at the first one, and it was like pretty static and boring, but now you've got all sorts of glow effects on, although well, adding glow effects is basically the cheapest possible way to try and make something look fancy. I remember the era of, like, just every single game had a massive amount of bloom added to it at one point.
Yep, I believe I actually had to turn that off in the game's options. Which,
Oh,
well, speaking of, last time you actually pointed out the lack of an options menu.
yeah, I pointed out and mightily complained. I think option menus are very important. One of the things I care quite a lot about, actually, is accessibility in games.
Yep.
Possibly a provocative statement, but I do think Dark Souls should probably have not so much an easy mode, but an accessible mode.
Yep. I can see it too. There's the hardcore pushers, but for me, games like Dark Souls have a lot of appeals, and if some of them are drowned out because you don't happen to be interested in others, that's actually a bit of a shame.
Well, I have friends who physically can't play something like Dark Souls, but I think would enjoy, you know, looking at the lore, soaking in the atmosphere, and I don't see any reason why they shouldn't have it. I do think, you know, in the menu, I mean, maybe call it story mode or something. That's what Fury does. Like, Fury's got the normal mode, and it explicitly says, this is what we recommend you play, and then story mode, we basically took out the challenge so you can, you know, enjoy the narrative if that's all you're here for.
Yep.
And I think that's reasonable. So let's look at these options.
Yep. Alright. So there's not too much. Actually able to change the volume levels is good.
What's the difference between BGM and SE?
Music and special effects.
Right. Okay.
Now, visual effects I've turned off. It does it alters shading and brightness, and honestly, I don't think it's to the game's benefit. See how dark everything got when I turned it on again?
I mean, I do kind of like darkness, but, you know, sure.
And yep, so likewise that.
I think there's probably some more color range going on with the visual effects, which is also nice.
Possibly.
Mhm.
But yeah, text speed, I've got it up to the fastest, I hope.
One never
And-
knows. Dungeon effects.
The
Which
menu
is
that's
not
not translated.
I mean, okay, this is where I just have to go, forgive the fan game, but that's pretty bad.
I think it's actually translated when you're in the game itself, so this is a bit funny, but you know.
This is just it's just
But
a
yeah.
bug. I mean, it's not
Basically,
like they
if you
changed.
turn this on, there are various, well, bloom effects that go on in the background when you're on the various dungeon floors.
Okay. So maybe at some point we'll play around with looking at the game on different modes just to demonstrate it. But for now, I guess.
Let's begin.
Ooh.
New game.
Da da da. It's a town.
It's Gensokyo, the human village.
Human village. I'm sure like two people here are actually humans. Bob and Alice.
Yep.
Go
Now,
on.
just gonna have to kill that quickly because, as usual, the audio's a little loud.
Okay, but the screen did go black, so that's...
Yes, whenever you leave the game screen, it blacks out.
Yep, so... sorry to anyone who's incredibly bothered by that.
Yep. Get the mouse out of the screen.
We're not gonna be reading stuff out, because this is like a JRPG thing and they talk too much.
Yeah.
Like it's all awful. And this is... That's an interesting... So is this part of the game's graphics? Like, is
Yeah, I'd say that. So yeah, we actually have a few background images now for the town scenery. Well, actually that's lie, there was some before, but they were flatter.
I think it's a decent background already.
Yeah.
My question is, for Marissa, is this... Because I know in the first game, the animation was all... Like, the characters were all shit in the first game.
Yeah. This is the actual character art this time as well.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah. So yeah, won't be reading the text, but I will flick through it slightly slowly so that people will have a chance to read it if they want to.
And if you really must, like, you know, put on slow speed, or, you know, download the game and play it. I assume it's free.
It's got a cost. I can't remember
okay.
how much.
That's interesting, because I know it's a fan game.
Oh wait,
but-
yeah, I looked it up and I think it was... Look, I'm playing it a bit naughtily, but they were charging 1,000 yen for it, which is about $10 US, if I recall, for exchange
Alright.
rates.
So it's not a lot. If you want it, you can get it.
Yeah.
And support weird fan people, it's fun. Kane. Oh yes, that's
Kane.
from the fighting game.
Yep. This time
Yeah,
she
like-
gets to be in the main cast.
Oh, she had like some of the text was overrunning the box there. Like last... I should can't get back, but it looks like it was running too fast.
Yeah, I can't go back in the text.
Kane
Anyway,
forced
plot.
to look up. Oh. Etrian Odyssey has invaded Gensokyo.
Yes. And here is the giant tree to prove it.
Mm.
It appeared about 3 days ago.
And Marissa literally didn't notice because she was busy eating dumplings the whole time.
She noticed she was just pretending.
Ah, okay.
Because, you know, problem? What problem? I don't want to solve a problem.
I don't want to deal with things. I have dumplings.
Yep.
Fuck off. It's interesting
Okay,
to-
oops.
Ooh. Okay, oops.
Yeah, alright, so... Might be a case of some of the text loading in wrong.
Hmm. And maybe a bug or something.
Possibly.
Well, definitely a bug, but maybe... Did you have to do any configuration to get this running?
No. It
No?
came as is.
Ooh, that's not great.
But yeah, anyway. I will say that while I am playing it naughtily right now. I will actually go out and buy the game honestly once I can figure my way through the Japanese menus.
So it's not that you want to be silly again, it's that Google Translate's not amazing.
Yeah. Look, I can sort of work things out, but I am a bit slow.
So like Haim or whatever her name is, she's giving real schoolgirl vibes for some reason.
Well, that's odd because she's more of a school teacher.
No, it's bizarre. I think it's just the doe-eyed face.
Possibly. Maybe the giant ribbon.
Giant ribbon is a little savoury, the long flowing hair. It's just like, maybe I'm just in waifu mode. So this character, Runosuke, he is the one man except for a cloud dude, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
And the one man with dialogue.
yeah. Touhou, I don't want to try and explain Touhou to anyone that doesn't know it because
There's a bit.
Yeah, it's a lot, but generally most of the characters are various animated girls.
Yeah. I mean, in a game series Zun did the music for, but nothing else, called Seiho, there was a male character, or there were a couple of male characters, and for the first one on the description of part of the music, he said, I really don't know how to write music for male characters.
I mean, that's kind of funny.
And, well, honestly, music is the main appeal of Touhou in a lot of... Or it's the main appeal of Touhou to its creator.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's something I didn't know.
Everything else is in service to the music, so if he can't think of a song for a man, then he's not going to include very many men.
I mean, I guess I have always enjoyed the songs in it, so that's kind of fun. So they're talking about some important sword that's, I assume, stuck up a tree?
Yeah, basically, giant tree appeared, and at about the same time, somebody stole a sword that he happened to have in his store.
Okay. And, like,
Which, technically, he stole from Marissa because she didn't recognize what it was.
Right. So
Okay,
that's,
no. Correcting myself, he didn't steal it, he scammed her.
Yeah, well, let's be good capitalists here. No one ever gets ripped off. If you didn't know the value, that's not your fault. You're just not an innovator. Yep. Something. Wobbly. So, and now they're all gonna battle their way up the tree to retrieve the sword to retrieve them.
Alright, blah blah blah, you can start on hard mode, which does nothing to the difficulty, but
it just
sets some caps on what you're doing.
Right, so we are doing the hard mode.
Yes.
Oh, and Runosuke is actually a, player character who's...
He does play some part in the first game, but he's not in your starting roster.
I have to say, I absolutely hate how that's visually handling the names.
Yes,
I assume it's not an
cutting out,
Japanese characters, but I mean, at least it tacks over when you're on top of them, I guess.
I'll have to double check, this may actually be a plus disc only thing. Because I've noticed some other things, for example, you'll see all of these are just Japanese text when they were previously, well, to people who've watched the other series when they were previously English translated.
Okay.
So I'd say perhaps the translation isn't as well done.
Some things with some menu things like that, I have to wonder if part of the audience for these things wants less translation so they can, I don't...
Hold on, the screen's gonna go black again.
Okay. Ah, the void, I'm welcoming the void. Alright.
Okay. That being said, all problems aside, I actually like how all of this looks a lot more than the other game.
The layout here is actually kind of lovely. Like, you've got the statuses over there, nice and separate. Or status levels, but I don't know what status level is. But
everything's nice and clustered. You've got defense attack stats on the left side, defense stats on the right. affinities and elemental resistances are warded off.
Yeah, like, yeah, you've got your, yep, you've
Yeah.
got your HP recovery and MP recovery.
That's nice. If I press A, you can actually see a quick description of how some of his stuff works.
Fire, cold nature, mystic. I'll say, this to me strikes of, I mean, maybe this is a thing that, I think this might be an appeal for some of the people playing it, but it strikes me as just a bit of too much.
Yeah.
But then I still like, I tend to lean towards focused, simple games, so...
Yep. Now this game is a little cluttered, I have said that before. Yeah, you can step through the pages and see the various statistics. So here's your basic actual gameplay stats. A list of what skills you have put points into.
Yep, okay, and you got like...
And the base stats that calculate your play stats.
Okay.
So you'll see, for example, Reimu here's got a fairly good balance of attack and magic, and she is well, like the previous game, she uses both stats for her attacks and heals and barriers.
Okay, yep.
If we go to Marissa, she's far more biased towards magic.
Magic, yeah, you can see that instantly.
Yep.
There's
Rinoska's
still-
kind of meh at everything, except hit points.
He's just gonna soak things up.
He doesn't even actually have any attacks.
Okay, so he's like a support character.
Yes. For
Like
now.
using items and things.
And Kaney's a magician with slightly better hit points.
Can I make a complaint?
Go on.
I really don't like, in that stat screen, and I assume what this is they've just taken a place where Japanese characters were and written English things without changing the formatting in.
But it's cutting off again.
It's cutting off again, and it really feels like... And I assume the translation was done by different people to the people that actually made the game.
Of course.
Like, I just want that bar moved over, because there's all that room there, and it's cutting off. Like, that formatting just super annoys me.
Yep.
For people watching, because I think I've mentioned this before, I have some basic training in typesetting, which has ruined my life. I assume, based on the fact that you quickly swapped a bunch of things there, that party order actually matters.
Yes, there are a few different attack types. I was actually looking it up, but there are a lot of attack types that prioritize the character on the far left over the far right.
Yep. So
And-
you want to...
So
Yeah.
basically, put your tanks on the left.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, and I like that as a gameplay mechanic.
Yeah.
Alright, shall we enter?
Yes. No need to worry about all the other menus just yet.
So, it's sort of working our way up the floors to find stuff out.
Yes. And inside the tree is a forest.
I mean, that actually happens in real life. Like, the giant redwoods in America actually have trees growing on top of them. Because the upper branches collect enough soil to form a second canopy. Like a second floor, basically. Unfortunately, we're probably gonna lose the ecosystems like that because there's just not enough. Things like that require big areas of huge trees, and there's not many big areas. They're getting broken up and kind of falling apart. There's some effort to rebuild it and whatnot, but yeah.
Yep. Now, having stepped in, I am going to make a beeline for something I know is in the area.
Yep, something that's important.
Let me turn right.
So a difference that I'm noting in this case, so the map isn't randomly generated, is it?
No,
No, it's all...
it's a
like...
fixed map in both games.
Yep. Something I'm noticing is you actually get an indication of where the event are.
Yep, they actually appear right on the map.
Oh, I love her art. That's really lovely. Like, especially the slice going down the side with the flowers on it, or the leaves on it. It's gorgeous.
Yep, that's how she dresses when she's professional. Anyway, she was sent here to get info and is competing with every other Tengu who's out here to get info. Tengu? Tengu. Tengu's only existed in Ichijaw.
Welcome!
That was a nice fast battle.
The monsters look a lot better.
Yep.
They were pretty terrible.
The thing I like is how you've got this, well, aside from the bloom effects that's of floating leaves, you've got this nice green, you've got this nice background, and every tile you step on that says what kind of environment you're in.
Oh yes, so yeah, because that was a thing you were just told you were in like an ice level last time.
You're in an ice level, but it looks identical to the first floor forest.
Yeah.
Alright, here we are. Another Tengu. It's Momiji. White Wolf Tengu.
Okay, I thought Tengus were just crows. Or am
Usually,
I, like,
yes-ish.
Yes-ish, okay.
In common
Ish is
mythology,
like
they're either
absolutely.
crows or men with giant red noses. According to Touhou settings, those giant red-nosed ones are actually all of the elders and bureaucrats.
Momoji kind of looks like a boy in this art, but I mean, it's fine. I just cute.
But Wolf Tengu are a little bit of a stretch, but basically the characters for Tengu actually read as divine dog.
Huh. That's that's really interesting. Didn't know that.
There's a lot of distortion and twisting in the mythologies.
Okay, cool. And you know, every setting gets to make up its own rules.
Yep. Now as to why I rushed all this way out to get Momiji, and am now just leaving the dungeon?
To put Momoji in the party, I assume?
Yes. She's a character who joins with absolutely no recruitment event, nothing you need to do.
And, you know, you've got another character, so, you know, even, I assume that she's got decent abilities and things?
Yeah, I'll bring her up quickly.
But there's also the thing of, I assume, it's like, I mean, your abilities, you've got a fifth person, so like, you've actually just, you know, added a fifth to your key. His abilities are such...
Now,
oh, sorry.
This might be a bit nostalgic to you, but can you tell what she is?
A tank.
Yes!
But also, her attack looks better than any other character.
Yeah. It's not so good in the long run, in part because of she's got fairly weak skills. But...
By it. Sorry, I'm just imagining this little girl running up on fire.
Yep.
Alright, let's go.
It's good enough for now, and her defenses are always in style. Another really great thing she has, which really makes you want to have her, is this ability here. When she's in slot 1 in the party, accuracy goes up a lot. Which is important, because unlike the previous game, evasion isn't bugged.
Yeah, our vital game teacher. I mean, you know, you just said the word style and talking about bug gameplay mechanics, and all I'm thinking is anima now, so... Anima Beyond Fantasy. My love-hate relationship in RPGs.
Yes. Old memory to me.
Yeah, I think it would be difficult to go back to, but I also think I will probably spend all of my life harvesting from that game's lore.
Yes, indeed. Alright, now I have Momiji in the party.
Momiji? It's such a fun name. It sounds like, you know, a baker's treat.
A what?
Like a little baked treat that's got something sweet in the middle that
Ah.
I eat. You know?
It's basically a leaf.
A leaf. That's what it means?
Yeah, maple leaf if I recall. So I got my first bit of equipment. Well, technically I got a cypress stick. Piece of heart.
This is gonna be all of the equipment beat references again. Okay.
Yep.
Go
Little
ahead.
thing that you collect 4 of to increase your hearts by 1. Get lots
So
of
it's
them
just
to
a
get lots of
HP
hearts.
boost.
It's a Zelda heart.
Yeah, I know exactly. I don't care. It's fine.
Yep.
That annoys me. I
And
know
I
it's
equip this
fine.
too. The stick
it
that
on
gives you a bit more mana.
That's fine. I assume this is a reference to something too,
Presumably.
presumably. Okay, the forest fairy looks kind of Dragon Ball-y, I guess. Oh, history!
Come on, be nice and drop me.
Drop.
Alright,
Magic
Oh dear.
missile. Oh no.
one thing that's definitely notable is that every character actually has a lot less attacks.
I don't mind that, because I think that might be a bit, like, to focus it a bit.
Yeah, there's a bit of focus. There's also a subclass mechanic that gives you new attacks later on, so it keeps things clean.
Oh, that's the art in this is really nice. I mean, it's kind of got a bit of everyone's faces are the same, but like that's true in the original art as well. So
Yeah. And only 6 faces is a school of thought in anime design anyway.
it's an incorrect school of sort. Just get angry there. It's an incorrect school of sort. Not that I don't do like cartoons where it's essentially just, you know, the same person just with different clothing on to make them different people.
Anyway,
But,
she's here because she was ordered to go and train in the tree for no reason by her master.
That is, I believe that's like a running thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
And while she was resting, one of her 2 swords has been stolen.
Ugh. Of course it has.
So we can come back to her when we have her sword.
So she's just gonna sit there till she gets it?
Well, she's looking around the local area.
Okay, but the game has no way to have wandering people.
Yeah.
That's fine. New history! Is that what you do when you just doctor your lessons and make up, like, read from your own personal fanfics?
Possibly.
Ugh. Your AU history fix. Are you lost?
Well, not quite. More that I want to explore every crevasse.
Look and cranny and get right in there. Nut eater. They're squirrels.
Oh yes, new status effect in this game is Shock, which basically knocks off half of your charge bar.
Ah, okay. Slows you down.
Yeah,
That makes sense. That's actually a neat sort of...
yeah. There are a few neat things. One thing that wasn't really an issue at the point that we've played in the first Labyrinth game, but really comes to be a problem later on.
Oh, what the hell?
This is Parsi, a yokai of
never-
jealousy.
I have never seen this character.
She stars in game number 11 and is part of a band
Alright.
of yokai that weren't allowed to go to the surface.
Alright, that's probably... I think game number 11 was after I stopped, like, hanging out with you and talking about Touhou regularly, so that tracks.
Ah, no, I was on... Number 12 was out at that time.
Alright.
Or number 12 was out before we met, so...
Oh. Maybe it just never came up then.
Yeah. Anyway,
Unlike
she's
Rita,
jealous of
but-
everything, so Marissa says, "Oh hey, why don't you come with us to beat up the jealous people?"
Okay.
And
here
Parsi
I was-
says no. She's
Okay.
too busy being jealous of the light.
So, I assume there's something you can do to solve that and collect her at some point?
Yeah, she joins your party if you have 12 or more members.
Oh, because she's jealous of not being included?
Yep.
That makes sense. Oh, it's actually quite funny. Oh yeah. I wanted to make a Chunabo reference with her, but I couldn't think of a good joke, so...
I think these guys are too tanky for me right now.
Oh no, do we have to run away?
Oh, I won't try that just yet. See, Katie's actually a terrible mage, but she is a buffer.
A buffer. She runs away with like the spit and polish and just shines everyone's shoes. And the shiny shoes allow you to kick them better.
And now she's gone.
I don't want to be a total bitch, but this game has like some like more impactful feeling attack animations than Pokemon.
Ouch. And Katie left the party because she was knocked out.
Oh no.
That's actually a change from a previous game. When you're knocked out in the other one, the character goes back automatically, but in this one they just lose 10 TP. Anyway, I don't actually have enough members or energy to well, there's the unused feature I can use. Rest. Just burn a bunch of your TP to refill all of your mana bars.
And TP is what, other than toilet paper?
It is basically each time you get into a battle, you lose 1 TP. At the end of every battle, you heal to full health, but you lose extra TP based on how much health damage you took in a percentage.
Okay. And what happens when you bottom out?
When you bottom out, you automatically go back. The character automatically leaves the party.
Okay.
So you have to go back to town to get them back.
Hmm.
Fortunately, you don't have to manually add them back to your party. The
It's
game's
just
not that obtuse.
Not so much obtuse as noxious. Okay, I don't know this one either.
This
I
is
assume another
Kogasa, the only unrelated character from the 12th game.
Okay.
She normally has this big purple umbrella, which is technically also her.
I've seen the umbrella. She looks very cross-eyed here.
Yep. Her umbrella was stolen.
So there's a running sort of theme I'm noticing of like stolen items.
Yep.
Dirty thieves.
General thing. Character has some problem, they will join your party.
A Beedrill.
Hey man, don't mess with Beedrills. They're all over the place in the Pokemon anime.
Oh, have you got your Pokeball? Can you catch monsters in this game? That would be awesome.
I don't think you can.
I think you should go home.
Probably. Oh yes, achievements. This game has achievements.
Yeah, we're here for some reason. Yeah, we want stars, Peach. Give us stars. Walk a total of 200 steps. Oh,
Oh, and plus disc achievements.
oh no.
Here we have a queue at the save point, just like the previous game.
You just poke her in that flower and that's saving. She gets embarrassed. Treasure chest, please.
Yep.
Was that in? Should we have had that before?
No, is locked and unlocked treasure chests.
Ah, okay.
We've only had to deal with locked ones so far.
Okay.
Oh yeah, another small menu to spam through.
Oh no. It's on
Level
fire.
up box.
Level up box. Level up box.
Let's
Oh,
get
you can
everybody
level
to
up
level 2.
everybody. And then you've got to spend their points and everything. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Quality of life change that doesn't help right now is that you can level up multiple stats, or you can level up in batches later on.
Oh, so like you can go, everyone who I want to HP up, right, get in the pot, I'm gonna HP you all up.
Or more on lines of, oh hey, I can put 10 points into hit points with a single button press.
Ah, yeah, yep.
Other fun things is you can reduce your character's level.
I like that as an option. I really do.
And one thing that they let you do together, level unification. Set every party's level to the same.
Okay. So if you've got a whole bunch of characters who are above, is that what if you have a character that doesn't have the XP to be at the higher level?
Then they go at the highest level they can be at.
Alright, that makes sense. Ah, it's the engineer girl.
Yep.
Who's got a tight, like, key bondage harness on, okay.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's one way to secure a key. It doesn't look super comfortable.
Yep. She's always had that key.
Never noticed it before.
Ugh, can't buy anything.
Probably because normally it just looks like it's hanging on her and not, you know, compressing the clothes to highlight her boobies.
Well, I mean, that's because you've only really looked at the official art.
Yep, yep. I don't want a key compressing into my chest. Keys are generally uncomfortable. Like, even in pockets they've become a pain.
It's got some nice gentle music, I find.
The town music I've found really irritating.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Like, the town's just not dramatic enough for it and it's really repetitive. Really, if you're gonna focus on making any music good, make the town music good. We're stuck with it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Filing Shrine and, whatever the second Mildura was great. Like, fantastic themes.
Yeah. Cantrip book. That's a magic item.
Up. Yep, magic up. Makes sense.
And
You know.
Armist Parasite is a defense item. Actually, a mid-rank one.
Alright, can you put it on? Oh, it's on now. There you go. So you just, like, attached a little, I don't know, leech that's made of metal onto his ear, her ear.
Presumably.
It's like an earring kind of thing. Oh, I've been working on my RPG setting, and one thing I've done is I've made my little, like, mind control parasites. They were like mind control leeches. Swapped them over to centipedes. And I was talking to someone yesterday about it, and I just got this instant look of, ew! And I'm like, ooh, perfect. It means it's working.
Yep. Centipedes are one of the most naturally creepy insects. Well,
Well, I mean, the reason I did it was because I was watching a playthrough of Resident Evil 4, and I noticed all the parasite enemies were like these weird centipedes, and it reminded me of when I was playing through Sekiro, like how in Sekiro, you know, centipedes are kind of symbols of corruption,
yeah.
and whatnot.
Another Japanese lore thing, centipedes are a symbol of evil.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty big thing when you don't have a strong concept of evil in your mythology.
Oh wow, there's a whole stack of...
Now the thing about these treasure chests is they're locked.
So you needed that key?
Yep. And it will only open one of them.
Oh no. Oh, they've got keys behind the little,
Yep.
like, things. That makes sense.
Now see, I know what they are though. And I'll run
Okay.
it through with you quickly. The one on the bottom left gives a...
and in front of the one you're talking about.
Yeah. This
Yep.
one
Yep.
gives an item that, or gives a couple of items to raise your character's stats.
Yep.
The middle one
Mm-hmm.
gives you a couple of things to improve the drop rates of enemies in the game.
And the top one?
This one gives you some fairly good mid-game equipment.
I personally, off that description, go for the middle one just because I feel like drop rates are important. But what do you think?
I usually go for the middle one. Speaking of drop rates quickly, that's another thing Rinosuke does.
Okay.
It's his talents, his combat skills are fairly trash, but he's got an ability that just boosts money and drop rates, which is
It's
why
like
you keep him in the party anyway.
There's drop rate stuff, like the value of that goes exponentially up the earlier you get it,
Yes.
and it remains good.
In this
as long as
case, it's,
possible.
I believe, 1% per item, and that's 1% over the previous, so if it was 4%, it becomes 4.04%.
Alright, so it does, you do
Yeah.
lose benefits to stacking drop rate fast, but still.
Yeah. It's good eventually, and you get more keys eventually.
I mean, that is why having like soft humanity in Dark Souls is important.
But yeah. I also do feel like the stat boosting item is a waste of effort.
Yeah, it's just not good.
I've not used them at all in my playthrough so far, and all it would do is make me prioritize a single character because I happen to spend some permanent resources on him.
Yeah. That limits flexibility a bit. I mean, the mid-game one, I think, could help if you really want to clear the early floors quickly.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know.
I'll leave the choice to you.
Let's get the top one, just because I know you've done these like floors. Let's get the items.
Alright, it contains biggest sword ever,
Ever.
purple metallic armor,
Like armor.
mana flower,
Flower.
symbol of faith. What these items do is plus 36% attack.
That's pretty good, yeah. So now we can go on like longer runs, I guess.
Plus 36% mana.
Yep.
Taking off a parasite for plus 36% defense.
Yep. So Momochi is like badass now.
The symbol of faith is 36% mine,
Okay,
which is your
mine.
magic defense.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, one of my early boss monsters, going back to like parasites and that, is gonna be a giant toad, and this will purely be fluff, but its tongue will be a centipede. Yeah, there you. That's the second.
That's the reaction you want.
Yeah, that's the second person that's had that reaction. So I'm like, yeah, this is. If I'm getting a visceral reaction, I'm happy. It's just a little bit of a. Oh, that's a bit. Okay.
I
It's
got a
like,
Miko
alright.
board. It should go to the. Can't go to the Miko.
Hmm.
Boost maximum TP.
It can't go to the Miko.
Oh, she's already got a Cypress stick.
Ah, okay, and that's better. What's a Miko board? Is that like a Ouija board?
I've got no idea.
Okay, that's fair. Great trees and all this floor. Why is Momoji getting counted on? That's so mean. Leave Momoji alone.
I mean, you know what? I think she survived because of the defense item.
Purple armor. So yeah, nice.
Okay, there's another small change to this game, mostly ineffectual, but you know how I said in the other one that you never use the basic attack option?
But you will in this.
Yeah. The formula is still pretty underwhelming, but instead of being you attack with your physical attack, it's you attack with the higher of your physical or magical.
Alright, so magic attackers can actually use the damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Power Bracer is the level 1 version of the biggest sword ever.
Okay.
Gives a third of the benefit.
Okay, so I assume people can only have like one item of each type, sort of thing?
Oh no, you can only have one main equipment, which goes up here and is from a separate list.
Alright.
But you can mix and match for free in the middle with whatever you've got.
So if you wanted to put all of the armor on Momoji, you could.
Yes.
Right.
And should.
Okay. Alright. So why doesn't Momoji have the armored parasite as well at the moment?
Mostly to keep her.
Alright, to get some damage up.
Yeah. It's giving her
That
some
one.
good hit points and damage is
It's
useful
spreading
as
out
well.
the kind of upgrade, like the kind of defense, so it's not all just
Yeah.
gonna be negated by someone that goes around whatever choice we've made.
Yep. Later in the game, when you have more powerful physical attackers, then yeah, you just put all defensive items on Momiji.
I assume by that point you've got a whole big stack of defensive items.
And a few tanks to share it among too. Manga meat.
Manga meat.
That's a main equipment item.
I'm trying to picture that. Gag manga. No, there is further explanation. Okay, it stretches it. Oh, it's that meat.
It's the giant hunk of meat you eat in the Flintstones.
Right, cool.
Now,
Okay.
honestly, what it does,
Isn't
I
amazing,
don't really have much use for.
But there's no
So,
amazing
you know in the
equipment?
previous game when your character's off screen and focusing, they recover MP? They also recover a bit of hit points, which means you can basically heal people up in a long battle by keeping them in the back line. And that item increases the rate at which that healing happens. But,
You're generally not going for endurance fights.
well, you may be against bosses, but you normally want to have some actual healers, and if not, the natural rates are normally enough.
So it doesn't tend to be that useful an item
We
type.
found some side of Touhou.
Oh, that's cool.
Noting
Mysterious.
black hole. It's Rumia! She hits her head.
That was predictable. Alright game, you can't call out your own shit writing. Not how that works. It doesn't
It's our
make it
job.
less good. Yeah. Oh, well, the opposite of shit writing. I have now seen for the first time, Spirited Away.
Ah, the Ghibli.
Yeah, I've now got 4K TV in my bedroom, and I've got Netflix, so I've been essentially like looking at it going, well, I may as well, you know, check these out now that I can see them in a nice proper thing, and you know what, Spirited Away, I know it's not an original take, but good movie, I liked it.
Yeah, fair.
The thing that got me was I kept in my head thinking, oh, I know what it's going to do next, and every time I thought that, it did something more interesting than what I was thinking. Which is pretty rare. You'd think finding leaves of the giant tree would be, not difficult.
Yeah. Now it's putting out another game mechanic.
Okay.
A
You
boss.
can spot bosses before and see their level. Is that new to this game?
Well, there were boss icons in the other one, but they didn't have a level listed.
Alright, so
Nor
there's a
too do we
little
have this
bit
thing where you get slightly better rewards if you beat it below its level.
more. Alright.
Now this is actually the main thing that's playing the game on a hard mode does. It forces the fact that you can't fight a boss if you're below its recommended level, or above its recommended level.
Alright. So you can't ruffle stomp things by being over leveled.
Yep. Let's just go for it. I'm not gonna bother with my normal business of save scum fighting the boss, because...
Okay. Which I assume is to get the best items.
Yeah. All this gives her is a piece of rye bread, which is an okay mixed attacker item, but not great.
Okay, and this is the,
This is a squirrel that stole an umbrella.
umbrella. Yep.
It's a bit of a introduction to boss, really.
Yeah, that's fair.
All it does is summon a few regular enemies every so often. A bit too often. It's a bit of a chance thing.
It's funny, time! Magic missile. Ugh.
About half its health down.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I never really talked about how buffs work in this game.
Oh yes, let's talk about them.
Basically, you apply a buff to your characters and it gives you a raise to all of your stats, or to the relevant stats, and they add up to a maximum of plus 100, or in the case of debuffs, minus 50%.
Yep.
Momiji, no!
Momiji got nutted.
However, every time you take a turn, the value of your buffs reduces by about 20%.
They last about 5 turns before being gone completely.
Well, it's the next tier down, so it might go from 30% down to 24%, down to about, head maths.
Anyway, whatever, keep going.
So they never quite hit 0.
It just whittles down. I assume they reset once the battle ends.
Yeah.
Yep.
You do keep them if you swap between screens as well, which is nice. I should be level 3 when I'm fighting this, and I'm level 2, so this might be why I wind up losing.
Yep, alright. I mean, we don't seem to be doing too bad, though. I can see the boss's HP is low. Is magic missile really like the best thing she can do?
Yeah.
Okay, I think, yeah, I was wrong.
Other nice things.
Oh,
First off, I can just try it again, reset to the start of a battle.
Yeah, let's do it.
If I don't want to do that, I can go back to town and not actually lose my progress.
Yeah, let's freaking beat up this guy.
Yeah, honestly, I could do it at level 2, but not with a half-exhausted party.
Alright, so that's our problem right now.
I'm just gonna charge up first.
And then try and use our uber attacks and really get in there.
Okay, so much for that.
Charging up didn't seem to work. I think it's just chucking giant nubs at you. Alright, I think maybe we go home.
Just for the moment.
At least it was short.
That achievement is for dying.
Yeah, I figured. You get rewards for it? What? That's not how achievement works, no.
Let's bring everyone up to level 3.
I was hoping we could do them at level too.
Just quick flicking through all this.
Oh, so leveling down allows you to go back and fight the monsters then?
Yeah.
Like the bosses you missed. Okay, that makes sense.
Alright, looking at the time, we can probably just rush in to fight it right now and then end the session.
Yeah, well, I thought we might go a little longer than we did last time anyway. We started a little earlier than we were going to.
I think I did save.
Yes, I think you did too.
But yeah, on the town music being annoying, I do know of, and I do disagree, another school of thought that says, oh, it must be bombastic and loud or whatever.
It should feel like if it's going to be your base that you're always returning to, it needs to be something that can withstand like a lot of repetition, but I generally go with if it's a safe place, it should feel safe.
Okay, that was a waste.
Yeah. I don't mind like Uber Script Girl as a boss thing, like as an intro thing, it makes some sense. This isn't the umbrella with the tongue, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay, I just can't see the tongue on this one.
By Reimu?
Being
I'm
leveled
gonna
up.
quickly
seems to
swap
be-
in Ridosky because his drop rate boost is larger when he's actually in the party.
That makes sense. We seem to be doing much better.
Oh, and I even got the bread.
Oh, cool. Super hard rye bread.
Yeah. Now the two
That's
gems
the-
it gives, those are the items that give you permanent character buffs, and that's your main reward for fighting bosses at the recommended challenge level.
Yep. And the bread is...
The bread is an item that boosts attack and magic.
Oh no, it broke.
Let's go ask Nittery.
Who's Nittery?
The Kappa.
Oh no. Oh, back at town.
Yep.
That's right, that's who the
Now-
indicator is.
Reno is a
Ah.
mixed attacker, so she gets the bread.
Cool.
Oh, it also boosts accuracy, which again, really nice.
Yeah, nice. Oh wow, that's a lot of boosters. I don't know what Zen is. But I assume it's a resistance, like psychic.
Yeah,
resistance
it's
or
poison. Yep. So the 8 on the left are your elements, and they reduce elemental damage. The
And
8
then
on the
you got
right are
status effects.
status effects,
That makes sense.
and poison is poison.
I
It
like
does
how this
exactly
is
what you
grouped.
expect.
And I like the little indicators of stuff going up.
Yep. Now I sort of got interrupted in my thought last time. Now let's keep going
Yeah.
after using the rest function.
Um,
But the fact that there are more elements here than the previous one is good, because eventually a problem you had was they made the elements and then later thought about which characters should be using them.
okay.
So about half of the characters had nothing but mystic element attacks in the previous game.
Okay. Bit boring.
So to
Yeah.
remedy that problem, they added in darkness as an element, which allowed all those mystic attacks to be split up a bit.
Which is basically the Pokemon solution.
Yep. Physical is also an element now instead of just being a default, so you can be resistant to physical damage.
Makes sense. Bulletproof armor.
That's the level 1 defense item.
Who uses bullets? Except for like laser bullets. Ah, my buddy!
It's Remelia.
Whose eyes are looking shockingly not red enough.
Needs more red, eh?
Like you're being a...
And she's actually wearing her outfit from the novel series that Ridosky stars in.
Oh. She kinda looks like she's wearing a chef's hat.
The outfit's mostly the same, but it's the hat that stands out as it.
It looks kinda like a fancier version of a chef's hat, or maybe a bonnet type
Yep.
thing. Hong Mei Ling is just booby booby boo boo. Boo.
She's having a picnic.
Oh, okay. I assume we can recruit them as well at some point.
Eventually.
Fetch them the great sandwich of best picnic ever. I'm guessing something like that.
There'll be some event and we'll figure it out. Alright, technically what I should be doing is going back to town so I can recruit Kogasa, but
Yeah, let's just
let's
around.
explore a little more. Bludgeon!
lunch. It is just like we're hitting at people with a stick. Yep. Yep.
It's just a stick!
Yep. Yep. The girl thought it was too heavy, so they scraped it until it was thin enough to work as a staff. Or bludgeon.
It's a physical attack item, but I've got no physical attackers.
Yep. Fantastic.
That's a slight lie. Kogasa's a physical attacker.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't gonna, like, contradict you. Gotta let you be the Touhou expert.
Yep.
No one knows more about Touhou than Shy. If you think you do, you don't.
Yep. And I will continue to say that as long as it cannot be mechanically or imperially whatever word is proven.
As long as no one is watching this and no one's gonna challenge us.
Yep. Rumia! And she wants manga meat.
Oh, we have that.
We need 3 of them though.
Oh.
And another text box drops.
Yep. That was... yeah.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. That's a funny one. I mean, I don't mind it sometimes, actually, just silly people. Not from people watching. We ever try to read along, which just probably not the place for you to read along. But you know, people do what they do.
Bing, bing, bing,
I
bing.
do like rainbow attacks, they're always fun.
Yep.
I caught a shiny Ho-Oh on Pokemon Go the other day. Or earlier in the week. That was very exciting.
What's a shiny version look like?
Kind of more metallic-y. I mean, there's always the issue with Ho-Oh if it's based on the Fang plant, but doesn't actually have rainbow feathers despite its description saying it does. And I know, like, Chira, no!
She is the greatest swordswoman.
Really? I thought she was the math teacher. Shut up or I'll hit you again.
Yep, she stole the sword from Yomu.
Of course she did. Feel like in like a English dub of an anime was there that was the person who played Pop.
How about we just take it?
Oh no! No, I took it from some random nameless fairy. Stealing it implies you're important.
And she gets away.
She's quite powerful for a fairy, but in the end she's still a fairy, which means your power level's like 2. Above the fairy's base of
2 if you're
1,
lucky.
you know. 1.9, that's what you've got, the strongest fairy. Can't
And there
beat
goes
the light one.
Momiji.
Oh no.
And so
Oh,
there goes
Momiji.
we.
Alright.
So we got a couple of things to do before I wrap up.
Yep.
First, no not Katie, visit Nitari.
Repair. Quick, repair this. I assume we have to like pay her money. Need the materials. Okay. We got the great lead. So let's see. 120
Pretty
money.
sure we got the insect skeleton as a drop.
Alright, cool. This is charging, you know. People need to be paid for their labor.
Yeah.
And be entitled.
Alright, another little bit of materials, blah blah blah. Okay, we don't have it yet, so we can't get Kagasa.
Yeah, I didn't think we had it, but so once we repair that, and we got the sword, so we can get the other person, can't we?
Well, sort of. I also just bought 2 more mega beats so we can get Rubia.
Nice, my favorite.
But,
Alright, so pick up
as
those
to
two
getting
in that
Yomu,
Mm-hmm. Yomu is... oh, she's a boss.
yeah.
She's turned into a boss. Does she
Alright.
yell at us if she thinks we stole her sword?
Basically.
And then goes, ah, you've got my sword, you stole it. It's like, no, we took it off a fairy to give it back, you twit.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna quickly rush around the corner and pick up Rubia at least.
Yeah, that sounds like the capital place to end biscuits. Nuts!
I ran away.
I did have a thought that because you wanted to do this pretty regularly, one day we might you know, do a couple of hours in a row or something and do 2.
Yeah.
If you wanted to. Not today though. So,
Yeah, I know you got things planned.
Yeah. Oh, manga meat.
Yay!
My manga meat. Time to begin. Yum 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 yum. I'm bored. Entertain me. I want Rumia to speak with like a deep smoker's voice. It's all that darkness she's huffing all the time.
Yep,
If I
it's
love
not
you
good for
now.
your throat.
It's really
Rumia
not,
joins the
like-
party.
Rumia needs to be like the protagonist of one of the games. She's got that look.
Yeah.
I assume she isn't.
She's not a... She's a fairly minor character in the main canon, but she's got a solid... You know what? I'm just gonna enter the tree so that we don't have to hear that music.
Yep, that's fair. Can we have a look at Rumia's stats?
Yep. So, Rumia's overall layout is a mage, and she looks like a bit of a weak one.
Hmm. Yeah.
But... you can't check skills in town.
Not in town anymore.
Right, I'm gonna do the hard solution.
That. Oh, mute the sound.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
fair.
the big thing is... This attack actually has a very high damage multiplier, so even though her stats are terrible, her attacks are not.
Okay.
This attack just ignores defense completely.
Oh, she's a tricksy attacker.
And this is a group heal.
Whoa, so when she gets up there, she gets really useful.
Yep.
Max level. Okay, so it starts level 1 and then goes up.
Yeah. Skill levels, you get about 5% more power per rank you put in them, so it's not a big thing you need to worry about.
I was just being like, does she need to be level 5 before she gets it, or what?
Yeah, it's... Oh yeah, that's a thing I haven't done, so I'll just level her up quickly. In taking a footnote from Etrian Odyssey, every level you get a skill point that can be spent to gain abilities.
Alright.
Or to improve your skills.
So, what are we going to get?
Alright, well we'll run through what she's got quickly. So these are okay, but I kind of feel they're not your main priority.
So, none of what's on here she's all unlocked, is it?
She has these attacks. These are passive effects.
Oh, ooh.
So this one means if you don't want to suffer random encounters, you can raise it.
Well, we kind of want random encounters for the level.
I'm a big believer in the natural grind, as I call it.
Well, if you don't get them, you don't get XP.
You explore it. The experience you get as a result of exploring everything, if that's enough to get you through the game, that's a good natural grind.
Yeah.
If it's enough to make you over-leveled for everything, then there's a balance issue.
Yeah, and lowering that... You want the designers to set that rate to what it should be.
It's something I might turn on if there's a boss I want to save scum the items out of, and it's halfway across the map.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Piercing attack, so it's a bit redundant on her, although you can learn more skills from subclasses, but ignores part of the enemy's defense. Yokai knowledge increases the damage your entire party does against humanoid enemies, which includes every character boss.
So. Yeah, okay. Yep.
Reduces darkness damage, that's nice.
Uh-huh.
Team bonus! All of her stats get a bit bigger when she's combined with other members of the fan group Team 9.
Aww. Aww.
And this is actually the other half of things, because...
That's quite nice. Synergies.
You know how I said she's got kind of weak stats for a mage, but good multipliers? They're not so weak that a full 30% bonus to every stat isn't going to push her into the powerful tiers.
So I assume all of the Team 9 members can get them, and if they've all got that, then they start multiplying each other into silly.
Yeah, it's about 1632. If you've got a full team of Team 9, 1632, 40...
Oh, can we absolutely do
48%. Every member of a Team 9 is 50% better in everything.
Can we absolutely do that at some point? Because Wriggle's on there.
Of course.
I love Wriggle. Oh, that's great.
Now,
that one.
These last two skills everybody has, and it's basically if you need more experience, take these.
I like the more well, but then we're going to level caps anyway, so.
Yeah. Anyway, we're about to go and fight. Well, maybe not right now, but we're going to go and fight Yomu.
So you want that one? Yep,
Yes.
that makes sense.
And we might want to
Cool.
work out skills for other people too, since, I can actually take this now via
Mhm.
accuracy boost. Kane is a bit of a funny one. Bonus with Moko for later.
Hmm.
Passive defense boosts. Or these are actually the few skills where I do think it's good to put levels into them directly because it increases the
Alright.
size of the power up you get.
Alright. Yeah, ah yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the buffing everyone.
Reimu's got a few interesting things. This is good for saving
You
mana and doing power
character.
attacks. Oh yeah, she gets powered up whenever other people die because she's the main character.
That's brilliant. I actually really like that as a skill.
Yeah, this is a great dungeon exploring ability because it just means everybody gets more mana.
Yeah, let's go that then.
Yep. And for Marissa,
Malice cannon.
alright. Fun fan joke is big due to the fact that in the 8th game, the one you've played, that attack. Oh, there's a sort of bug with a Alice Marissa combination where if you switch between them quickly, they make both of their attacks at the same time.
Okay, so I like synergy skills in this. That's
Yep.
actually really
Yeah,
cool.
there's a lot of synergy skills.
Hmm.
And
Cool.
this is an unusual synergy skill because most of them are when when two characters are in the same team together, whereas this one is when you're using them but not together.
Hmm.
This is her bonus. If you're missing 5 or more party members, she just gets better every turn.
Okay.
This is another piercing attack. Increases the randomness of her damage. Increases recovery. Increases magic damage, mystic damage.
But she has to be in front for it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm assuming for the time being at least,
yeah,
like Momoji's just taking the front.
yeah. Now, small, not quite annoyance. She's got this as one of her attack skills, but she can't use it
Right.
because
Why?
it's too expensive.
Okay, too much MP, so she doesn't actually have it.
Yeah, you need to equip MP boosting equipment before you can actually use it.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. This is useful for her. It's basically 10% boost to damage.
But it's only if she's in front.
And Renosuke, more drop rate.
Drop rate. Use drop rate. Help us drop rate.
Now,
Right.
as to why I'm so blasé about just putting things into temporary stuff, last menu we can go into. Yeah. It's Patchy!
Okay.
She does a few things.
I always don't like it if Patchy doesn't look incredibly bored.
Yep. So she can raise these stats. This is one of those sub-mechanics. You don't really need it at first.
Alright.
And you can just raise everything evenly anyway.
But you can still reset
But
whenever
yeah.
you want.
Well, this doesn't reset the bonuses she gives, but but all the skill points, the abilities that we were unlocking just a few seconds ago,
You can reset whenever you want.
yeah. So if you can have party buffs and then turn it into personal buffs when you need it.
Alright, so you can, more or less, you can reconfigure the whole party whenever you want.
Yep. It's a bit time consuming, but it allows you to do all kinds of interesting things. Anyway, with that, I think I might actually wrap things up here.
Alright, yeah, that seems like a good input. And thank you for watching anyone that does. I tweet these out, it's one of my favorites and things. I'm not doing any promotion.
Yep. Just gonna mute the game
So-
again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can have fun pushing this series forward together and
Yeah.
deleting evidence of the previous version ever existing.
You might maybe rename the 2 that we did for the first one as
Yeah.
beta.
I can post links within descriptions, but I'm going to unlist the videos just for neatness.
Possibly when things get going a bit, I might ask you to put my Instagram in the description. Not for this one,
Not yet. It's small potatoes
because
right now.
nobody's watching.
Yep.
When someone demands the Instagram, we'll do it, because then someone wants it. I'll just tease it every episode till then.
Till then. But yeah, for
Alright,
now, to everyone who does tune in eventually, thank you for watching, and I do hope you have a good
yeah.
day.
Yeah. Cheerio!
Bye bye.